Hey there, beauties. Welcome back to A Fit Life Center, where I teach you small coping strategies to help you either begin, maintain, or continue a life that's fit for you. I'm Sharon, licensed clinical social worker, been doing it for years. These days, as you know, I tell you every week, I focus on wellness because I think it's important that we all learn how to be well. So that brings me, I'm going to get right into it today, right? Today, before I do that, let me just thank, we got some new subscribers last week. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy what you hear on this channel, right? And now you're about to hear some honesty. So, today I was going to talk about what it looks like when you schedule a therapy appointment. Excuse me one moment. Kismet is down here. He found a napkin on the floor and he's eating it. 1 second. Sir, no. This is my life today. That's what we're going to talk about. What do you do when you realize that your stress level is up a little bit and it's making it difficult for you to do what you got to do? Full disclosure, I right now in this moment and am feeling some stress. Why? Because my schedule for the last week has been really packed, which is a good thing, right? For business, it's a great thing. But it also means that I've had to kind of juggle some things, right? Today is a very full schedule as well. And in between that, Kismet had to go to the groomer, so I dropped him off early this morning, got a call to pick him up. I was in the middle of a session, had to wait. Luckily, my groomer is very gracious and knows that I'm working and sometimes can't come right away to pick him up. So it's been a little bit stressful. So let's talk about, first of all, how do you know when you're feeling stress? And I mean in your body, how do you know when you're feeling stress and what do you need to do? So the first thing you probably will notice is that your mind is kind of rolling around and around and around and around, trying to figure out either how you're going to get it all done or start some form of problem solving. What am I going to do? 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 Right? And it keeps rolling around in your head like that. The next thing you might notice is bodily sensations, right? Your heart racing. Your breath is a little bit shorter. Your stomach feels a little wonky. Some people feel pain. Some people feel nausea. Some people just feel like, like it's unsettled in some way. You might notice that your muscles are clenching. Your face feels tight, right? And the light on the ring light just went out. We're just going to keep going. So if the lighting just changed, that's why. We keep going, right? So you might feel bodily sensations that start to give you the subtle indication that your stress level is gone up. So let me be your guide today and tell you how I'm feeling. All week, I knew the schedule was going to be packed, right? And so I started feeling the wheels turning. What is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to do? Where can I cut back in order to accommodate the schedule, right? And make sure that I am present all the time, right? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I felt my mind problem solving, right? And then I started noticing that my muscles felt a little bit tight. My heart was racing a little bit. And then I started noticing my emotional state. I felt more irritable than I normally do, right? Because irritability is just a low grade form of anxiety, right? So I started noticing I was feeling a little bit more irritable. That was on Tuesday when the schedule first started kind of amping up. And so the things that I told you last week that I try to keep in place, I've really committed to keeping in place. So I got up, I exercised, I ate my breakfast, I got dressed for work, because all those things make me feel stable. And then I went to it. And I told myself that I'm just going to do one thing at a time and stay present. And it worked. So Tuesday, I did really well. I got all the things I needed to do. Yesterday was a little bit tougher because I started noticing my mind was going a little bit more. I was feeling really irritated. And I was even a little, not snappy at my husband, but probably less friendly than I normally am, to the point that he noticed it and actually asked me, "Are you okay?" Right? And my initial thought was to say, yes, I'm okay. Right? Just kind of blow it off kind of thing. But instead of doing that, I told the truth. I was like, I'm a bit overwhelmed with work. There's some things going on that I'm trying to accomplish that I don't feel like I have time this week to try to accomplish, right? He was very supportive, asked me, was there anything I could do? I said no. And then I noticed that after my last session last night, I just went on the bed and I got my phone and I started scrolling through Instagram reels, watching, because I love those animal ones. I just started watching them till I felt my heart rate kind of go down. A little self-care, right? And then I ate some dinner and I went to bed early. That helped some. This morning started all over again, right? And so I had to tell myself to slow down, because I also felt my body like speeding up, right? I'm rushing to get things done, right? Got to drop Kismet off, be back at my office in time for my first appointment, all of those things, right? And so I use my mindfulness practice. Mindfulness says stay present now and breathe and notice, right? So I dropped Kismet off. I sat down in my guest bedroom where I get dressed and have all my my products that I told you I like, right? So I sat down, made myself I've been trying this mushroom coffee. Stay tuned, I'll tell you about that, right? So I made myself a cup of this mushroom coffee, and I I started moving really slowly. You can see me even closing my eyes, right? And I started just kind of breathing, inhaling and exhaling, right? Didn't get rid of all the tension and the anxiety, but I also felt my shoulders kind of relax a little bit. My chest, that tightness I was feeling in my chest kind of relaxed a little bit. So if it was 0 is no stress at all, 5 is the worst stress I ever felt, I think when I sat down it probably was about a 3, inching toward a 4. By the time I finished just like 2 minutes of that breathing, it was about probably a 2.5 at that point, right? So I kept moving slowly. Did my hair. I did a whole full face of makeup intentionally. I'm using these things as coping strategies to help me relax, right? Focus on that, right? Drawing my eyebrows on is something that relaxes me, right? Even if they're not even, I don't care. They help me to just kind of stay in the moment, relax, right? So I did a full face of makeup, fluffed out my hair. I found something that felt really comfortable for me to wear. You probably can't see much of it. I'll try to tilt the camera down a little bit. But I just threw on this sundress, right? Because it's very relaxing. It's hot as Hades in Arizona. I'm talking like 117 degrees. So comfort is my #1 goal here, right? By the time I did that, it took me probably 30 minutes to do that. In that 30 minutes, it dropped me from a 2.5 down to a 2. That was enough so I could come into my office and start my day, right? So my day started at 9. It is now almost 12 o'clock. And right now I am feeling still at a 2, right? In a moment, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make myself some lunch, right? And I'm going to eat my lunch without eating my lunch and doing work. I'm just going to eat my lunch, right? If I feel okay, I'm going to do some work. If I don't feel like now is the time for me to do administrative work, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use the whole hour to relax because I have a whole full afternoon schedule that needs me to be present and focused, right? So what am I doing? I am giving you tips on how to manage your stress, right? And you notice I'm not doing anything extraordinary. I'm just allowing myself to enjoy pleasurable activities that I always do, but focusing on the pleasure of them and allowing that to slow me down, to relax and slow down my breathing so that I can be here and focus. This is what you will probably need to do when you feel your stress level go up, right? Because when I always talk about this journey of discovery, right? And the first thing we notice is all the things that we will have to do or eliminate or change in order to create a life that works for you. That can become so overwhelming and have your mind start to problem solve that you start to believe that you can't get it done. You can get it done. But the oxymoron of it all is that you have to slow down. You have to slow down. You have to breathe. You need to still eat. You need to sleep. You need to find ways to enjoy your life and do one little piece of it at a time. And eventually you'll notice you'll get it done, right? You'll get it done. You'll be able to think about what other things you need that might help you get it done without this being on this gerbil wheel of thinking that really doesn't allow you to solve anything. That is called ruminating. It's just the thoughts keep rolling around and around in your mind. It makes you feel like you're problem solving, but you're not. That is anxiety driven, right? You probably notice when you really are able to solve a problem, it's probably when you are more relaxed and your mind is able to expand itself and think of all the options that you have available to you in order to deal with whatever is going on. So I thought I would use my own stress today as an example of how you manage it. Oh, the other thing is to admit that you're human. We're all going to feel stress. We are all going to feel it. I am no exception to any humanity rule, right? Just because I have skills doesn't mean I don't feel the same thing, right? We all are going to feel stress at some point. The goal is to be able to manage it so that it doesn't shut you down, make you sick, make you unable to meet your goals, right? And to be able to manage what you have to manage in small bites. That's all I came on here to say. Take care of you. You're the infrastructure so that you can do what you want to do for yourself. I hope this was helpful. I hope you will consider subscribing to this channel and commenting. I got some really nice comments over the last week, from hello to saying, they're glad that the sabbatical was great for me. I really appreciate those comments, and I really want to know what other skills might be helpful for you in helping you meet your goals. So let me know in the comments. Tell me, and I will definitely make sure that I'm including them in this channel. I try not to be too technical, right? So that they feel very doable. All right. Like I always tell you, have a great rest of your day, and more importantly, create a life that's fit for you. See you later.